Excelsior! So thank you all so much for 2,000 subscribers. So for the 2,000 subscriber specials, I'm going to read Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1 and Ultimates #1. This comic is DC Comics Presents number 52, and it was published in December of 1982. DC Comics presents Superman and the New Doom Patrol. Rocketed to Earth from the doomed planet Krypton, the infant Kal-El grew to become the Man of Steel. They rose from the ashes of the old, those who died so that others could live. DC Comics presents Superman, created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, and the New Doom Patrol. If I were looking for a good reason why the whole North Shore of New Jersey suddenly went dark, I couldn't find a better one than this. And from the look of things, this could be the start of a systems-wide blackout that could take out the whole East Coast. Unless I do something to make sure the power plant doesn't blow. If you think the situation looks dark now for Superman and Metropolis, wait till you see what happens when Negative Woman goes berserk. Paul Kupperberg, writer. Keith Giffen, penciler. Sal Drapani, inker. Ben Oda, letterer. Gene D'Angelo, colorist. Julius Schwartz, editor. At the rate this thing is accelerating, I might not be able to keep it from going boom. This is one instance where I'd much rather have the situation at critical, which, believe me, has got to be better than what it is now. Hold tight, sir. I'll have you out of here in no time.
Could you please try a little faster than that?
Not a safe place to be at the moment. Would you mind coming with me?
Thank God you came, Superman! Everything suddenly started going bananas. Some sort of massive power overload hit the generators and Bluey!
Thanks for the technical briefing. Actually, I can't blame the man for being vague. It's not every day you get caught in a fire, much less an inferno like this one. And now that I've gotten all the technos to safety, it's time I douse this blaze. Or at least removed it from the premises with the help of my super breath and invulnerable lungs.
Not exactly the tastiest thing I've ever ingested.
But even if it was, I can't hang around here inhaling all day. Besides, I seem to have exposed the heart of the problem. The next best thing. It's some kind of bizarre energy source that's... Bizarre energy is right. That stuff cut through me like a hot knife through butter, and moved out of sight before I can even draw a supervision bead on it. Talk about something that's crying out for investigation. If only I could have gotten a fix on it. Is everyone all right here, fellows?
Guess so, Superman. Thanks to you. Soon as that black goop got chased out of the generator, they just died out.
Any of you got an explanation what that black goop was doing there in the first place?
No. Our instruments started registering some way out surges of power inside the generators. And then...
Bluey?
Yeah. Right. How'd you know?
Later that afternoon, at the Galaxy Building, in the heart of Metropolis, Metropolis power and light officials were at a loss to explain the fire. It just went Bluey, said MP&L Chairman Arthur J. Harris.
Hey, you guys at the parade site? We're ready for you here.
You've got a whole 27 minutes to iron out any bugs. and the relay equipment of the system before we go in the air. Live with the Metropolis Day Parade.
Yo, guys, can't you hear us? Come on, man. Cripes, don't tell me we don't even have sound from the site yet.
You got it, friends. And picture, too. How's about a sound check? This is Lois Lane, on special assignment for WGBS TV News.
Not to mention the fabulous and handsome James B. Olsen. Boy genius. Star of stage, screen, and...
What if I told you this was going out on the air, genius?
Oops!
You two ought to take that show on the road. Anything. Just please get it out of town. Now, if you don't mind, we still gotta run checks on the rest of the setup.
The whole world's a critic. Okay, camera 2, give us a nice shot of the VIP grandstand. Sheesh. Will you grab a gander at the district attorney? That clown can sense a television camera on him from 100 paces.
Who's the Joker playing peekaboo with the DA? Is that you, Olsen?
Wait a minute! Holy looks like he's being killed! Camera 2, give me a shot of the grandstand again! Pronto! Are we getting this on tape? Talk about your weirdos. Man, but he's eating it up. He's gone. Just disappeared from sight. Cut back to Lane and Olsen. Maybe they know something we don't. Shh! Blast! All we're getting from the site now is static. Wouldn't do us any good anyway. Even they look too freaked out to do any reporting right now. Clark, you're not going to believe what's going on out in the parade grounds. You better see this, 'cause you're going to be reporting it in a few minutes. Clark? Clark! There are any number of people around here who can anchor the special report on the DA's murder. But catching the murderer is, to use my favorite cliche, a job for Superman. This is turning out to be quite a busy day for this Man of Steel. First, the fiasco at the power plant. Then some clown in costume shows up to murder the DA in full view of witnesses and a videotape recorder. This world needs another costume villain, like an oil sheik needs another Cadillac. Wonder what else is going to go wrong today. Actually, Superman, you really don't want to know. Great Krypton! The energy source that knocked out the power plant is back! And from the way it's tearing up the landscape, it is going to give a repeat performance. Did I say it? That's in the shape of a person. A woman! Not that it makes a difference. Because, male, female, or thing, I've still got to stop her rampage through Metropolis. That is, as soon as I clean up the debris she's left behind to shower down in the city. She, whoever she is, leads the Man of Steel on a dizzying, zigzag chase in, around, and through Metropolis, staying just ahead of her pursuer. Short of myself or the Flash, I've never seen anyone move this fast, or anybody do this much damage in so short a time. I'll enter her name in the Guinness Book of World Records after I stop her. Strange, though there's something disturbingly familiar about her. Can't quite put my finger on it, except I've seen this form of energy before. Maybe I'll get some answers once I... He feels that, and it's as if his mind literally short-circuits from the Force, so he can be forgiven if he forgets. For the moment,
how to fly and takes the only option available to him, plummeting straight down.
Man, did you see that? She took out Superman like he was nothing. If she can do that, how are we supposed to be able to stop her?
As best we can, my friend. After all, do we not owe it to her?
Zzz. You asking me, honey? You know I'd go to hell and back for that lady. And then make the trip all over again.
Yes. You've never made much of a secret about those feelings, Joshua.
Then what are we standing around here gabbing for, Ronnie? Let's see if we can get Superman back on his feet, so he can help us corral Negative Woman. Besides, the bugs in that alleyway are driving me bonkers.
Superman will indeed aid us, Tempest. I am sure. After all, there is no reason why he should not want to assist the new Doom Patrol.
WGBS interrupts its regularly scheduled programming to bring you a live special report.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your anchor person, Lois Lane. Welcome to Metropolis Day Parade, the annual celebration in honor of the founding of our great city, 309 years ago. Along with my co-author, Jimmy Olsen, we'll be bringing you all the action and spectacle of this grand event. The parade's begun moving up Fifth Avenue, led off by the special 150th anniversary float of the Daily Planet. Quite a sight, eh, Jimmy?
Sure is, Lois. And listen to the crowd cheer now, at the sight of balloons celebrating some of the greatest heroes of fact and fiction. What's that big guy's name again? A few facts about the balloons themselves while we're at it. Huh?
That's not part of the parade, folks. If you saw the special bulletin preceding this show, you'll recognize him as the man sought for the murder of D.A. Sims.
That's true, Lois. Where the heck did he come from? Hiya, all you people out in television land. My name's Ambushbug, and I'm a bad guy. What, you may ask, qualifies a person to be a bad guy? I was wondering that myself, so I figured I'd better do something bad to establish my credentials.
So I do it! Ha 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 ha!
Hey, all my life I wanted to be a supervillain, so I hit on this nifty gimmick and name, and voila! Here I am, coast to coast evil. But I don't want to bore you, just loot and pillage you, so keep your eyes peeled. You never know where I'm gonna pop up and... Uh-oh! That's all, folks!
Bzzz.
Where are you hiding, Val baby? Blast! I could have sworn my sensors were picking up an overload of power in here. Maybe it's time for my 5,000-mile tune-up?
Hey, I know you. You're Robot Man. You used to be with the Doom Patrol.
Still am, doll. But I ain't got time to hand out autographs right now. Got too much to do. Catch me later. I'm usually hanging around Studio 54.
Why, that male chauvinist metal pig. Who does he think he's calling doll?
Listen, Lois. I think you better wait till later for the indignation. In case you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of a major broadcast.
Yeah, right. A broadcast. Let's go on with it then, shall we?
They shall not, in fact. In the next instant, television sets all around Metropolis go dark as electrical energy crackles through the studios. And a substantial portion of the Galaxy Communications building makes a sudden transformation to rubble.
So there's a Judge Dredd float here. It's a little Easter egg.
Did you see that? Man, oh man! I know I should have stayed home and watched this on the tube.
Meanwhile,
I don't believe this. A wacko new super bad guy, Robot Man, and a weird energy creature running wild over the parade? And our cameras are dead? I thought I was supposed to lead a charmed life. Hello. What have we here? Come to Papa, little Nikon.
moments later,
How could I forget? I started in the news biz with this little baby. It's gonna mark a return to greatness. I've always wanted a Pulitzer to call my own. Uh-oh.
consciousness is a funny thing, just when you get used to not having it. Some darn fool decides it's time for the lights to come back on, spoiling that dark, warm feeling of oblivion with reality.
Hey, Soaps, my man. You with us yet?
His eyes open, Joshua. I believe he will be fine.
Who? The name's Joshua Clay. Tempest to you, Superman. The lady calls herself Arani. Or Celsius. Take your pick. Put us together, and you get the Doom Patrol.
It would seem you have already met another of our teammates. She is the one responsible for your current, position.
Now, just hold on here. If memory serves me, and believe me, it usually does, the Doom Patrol is dead. And even if they weren't, I've met them, and you're not it.
Oh, this looks like it's simply fraught with fun possibilities. All it takes is my touching the proper circuit, stitched into my costume, for my teleportation device, and poof! Zzz. Huh? It's peekaboo time, Super Sap! So, are you Shatomi's gonna stand around there all day trying to talk him to death? Get him, dummies! You! Get who, man? Bzzz, pop.
So you're the Doom Patrol, huh?
Hey, now, wait a minute, my man. You ain't gonna fall for that old trick. Are you?
Tempest, my friend, I believe we are in trouble.
Elsewhere, a split second later, oh, hardy, hardy, har! What a maroon!
What a super duper dupe. Did you see the look on his face? Sheesh. I just gotta go back and grab a gander at this fight. It's gonna be priceless. Hey, what's all the commotion? Catch that chick, will ya? She's going berserk, smashing everything in sight, without rhyme or reason. She's absolutely nutsy cuckoo.
Come back, baby! I love you!
Meanwhile,
Come on, man. Try and maintain a bit of that renowned cool, will ya? Me and her, we're friends, allies, comrades, pals. Honest, Kimosabi.
then how do you explain your being in league with the man responsible for the murder of the DA? Sorry, Tempest. I don't buy it.
Don't do that, Soups. You don't know what a hassle it is breaking in new team members.
Who now?
How many robots you know, pal? Look, even if you don't believe these two are part of the Doom Patrol, how about me, Cliff Steele, also known as Robot Man?
Thank Krypton! A familiar face at last.
Would you please tell me what's going on here, Cliff?
All you had to do was ask, old buddy. Me and my friends here be chasing after our teammate, Negative Woman. Except her real name is Lieutenant Colonel Valentina Vostok, formerly of the Russian Air Force and Space Program. You see, the lady's got herself a heap of problems these days, all of them stemming from the day when she decided to steal herself a spanking new experimental Soviet fighter plane and do a bit of defecting to the good old US of A. Only trouble is, that heap was just a mite too experimental, and she had to make an emergency landing in the middle of the ocean. But instead of going down with the ship, the blasted thing crashed smack dab on the spot, where about a month before, some creeps named Zal and Rouge murdered the original Doom Patrol. Yeah, that's right. And I was the only survivor. Lucky me. Seems the crash released the negative energy creature that used to be Larry Traynor, Negative Man, that was lying dormant beneath the ocean, encased in lead. She was able to contain the neg being inside her with no sweat until yesterday, when the thing started to, well, leak through her skin. Man, it was spooky watching it happen, especially when the pain hit her. It was like she was being torn apart by the thing. I guess the hurting got to be too much for Val, and she snapped.
She can't help herself, Superman. The pain's driving her crazy, making her do all these things. Hold it. My super hearing's picking up something. And from the sounds of destruction I'm getting, I'd say I found Negative Woman. I'm going after her before she has a chance to wreck the whole city. Wait up! I'm going with you. Just to make sure you don't wind up using more muscle than necessary on the woman. Tempest's concern is touching, but, in truth, does this look like the work of someone who has to worry about being hurt? Even by a Superman? Woo-woo! What a woman! I love it that you're playing hard to get, baby. I'm even harder to get, creep. But you ain't. A couple of shots from my wonderful mutant blast power ought to prove that. Impressive, ain't it? Ever since joining up with the DP, I've been practicing. Used to be all I could do was blast the heck out of stuff. Now I got it down to an art. Yikes! Yeah, these days I can use it to propel myself through the air. Create vortexes and all kind of... Huh? He's gone? Tempest can take care of Ambush Bug, but it's more important that I handle the task of trash disposal. Tossing the debris, Negative Woman's leaving in her wake skyward, where friction will burn it up, so even more of the city's not smashed up by its falling to the street. And once that's accomplished, I'm free to go after the cause of this mess. See what I can do about stopping her. Meanwhile, in the street below...
Sheesh, how humiliating. I'm glad nobody saw me digging my way out from under that mess. Think of what something like that would do to my otherwise sterling reputation. But if I hustle my rear, I can still catch some of the action for exclusive photos. Huh? Oh no, not Again.
Wow. Negative Woman's fast. Her energy form allows her to move almost at light speed. Uh-oh. No, you don't, lady. I'm not going to allow you to slip through me again. Once in a lifetime is enough for me. There must be a way to stop her. It's no use trying to physically tackle her. Not with her ability to slip through solid matter. So I'd better... Huh? Ambush bug!
That's the name, Elmer. Don't wear it out. And listen, fella. You leave that doll alone. She's my lady now. Ain't she cute?
You bug me, Bug. And you, at least, I can get my hands on.
Hey, that guy's quick with his hands. But you gotta get up pretty early in the morning to catch an ambush bug.
I have always been partial to early risings. Though I might not say the same for insects.
Hoo boy! I think I feel a chill.
Ronnie, babe? I thought I saw that ambush creep coming this way.
So you did, Cliff. Though he shan't be going elsewhere. I have encased him within that block of solid ice.
Tell me another one, sweetie. This thing don't look like it's much good for anything, except making ice cubes.
He has gone?
What? And leave a swell bunch of folks like you without a playmate? Perish the thought.
Oh, Mama.
Perhaps you survived an attack by ice insect, but you won't fare as well against fire.
Yow! Cut it out, lady! He's gone already! I ain't sure what my melting point is, but I ain't in a hurry to find out just now.
Hey, really, honey? I appreciate your help, but I think I can take care of the Tin Man without your assistance. Wham! Take that!
You shouldn't have done that.
Does this mean we're not friends no more?
Ambush Bug's got to have a gimmick behind his now you see me, now you don't routine. And unless I miss my guess, that low buzzing sound I hear whenever he's around is it. Ah, the wonders of telescopic vision and super hearing. Because there's one of the little buggers now. Wait, that's not a real insect. It's some sort of sophisticated matter warping device, shaped like a bug. Clever move on Ambush Bug's part. But I'd like to think I'm clever. And when you add that little fact to my super speed and assorted other super senses, there's no contest whatsoever. With that done, the Doom Patrollers shouldn't have any trouble rounding up Ambush Bug. But negatively, that's a whole other story. Are you gonna just hang around up there, showing everybody your square, heroic jaw? Or are you gonna help me here, man? My powers ain't much good for anything but deflecting Val away from trashing some more of that real estate.
Ooh, you look positively miffed, Tin Man. Why don't you take a swing at me? It'll make you feel like a new man. Or, whatever. Go on, Chrome Dome. Plant one right here.
Yikes! How come I haven't teleported?
You were right, creep. That felt real good.
Meanwhile, several blocks across town...
This is ridiculous, Tempest. We could still be chasing Negative Woman this time next week. Hey, where you going, Thoops? Val's heading south. So why are you heading north? Cripes, he's gone already. Man, I never thought of that dude as a quitter. But I guess I better worry about dealing with Super Chicken later, after I get Val to stop. Which, considering my success rate over the last couple hours, ought to be sometime around Thanksgiving of next year. Whoa! Feels like I just crossed paths with a hurricane. And now Val's disappeared? I figured it out now. I'm losing my mind is what? 'Cause this, I don't believe. We've been trying since sunup to corral her without doing any permanent damage to her. And you show up in 2 seconds, pretty as you please, just scoop the lady up and deliver her to me safe and sound. I'm sorry that it took that long, friend. But after all, I did have to detour to my Fortress of Solitude at the Arctic in order to pick up this lead container I keep around to store kryptonite in. That's right, man. Give me an even bigger inferiority complex. While you're at it, why don't you? Don't feel bad, Joshua. I've been in the harrowing business a lot longer than you. Experience comes with the territory. That's how I was able to figure that Miss Vostok's negative being could be contained within lead, it being a form of pure electrical energy. Now, shall we see how your friends are doing across town? So we shall, brother. Sheesh. Epilogue number 1. Metropolis. I duck into the diner for a cup of coffee, and the next thing you know, blam! World War III hits the parade. Glad I'm a cop, not a street cleaner.
Man, if I ever see another piece of latex rubber again, it'll be too soon. Uh-oh.
What the heck are you doing under there, Buster?
Would you believe I'm a reporter?
Right. Come on, mister. Get moving. This is a restricted area.
Honest, officer. I really am a reporter.
Uh-huh. Got any ID?
Well, you see, you kinda got lost under the float. But Superman's a close personal friend of mine, and...
Why, Lord, do I get all the crazies? Come on, clown. Move along.
Epilogue number 2. Metropolis State Prison. A definite bummer. Here I thought I had my ambush bug shtick worked out to perfection, until that super goof showed up and squished my bugs. Well, what the hey? We learn from our mistakes, don't we? And once I haul my tail out of this joint, I just won't make the same mistakes again. Yeah, they think I'm a got felon. But me, I'm so clever, I could just kiss myself. 'Cause the way I see it, I should be out of here. Soon! Epilogue number 3. The Midway City headquarters of the Doom Patrol.
The medical sensors say we got you back here just in the nick of time, Val. A few more hours, like you were, and that would have been all she wrote for you, babe.
You're one lucky lady.
Perhaps it would have been best had you left me to die.
What kind of crazy talk is that, Vostok? You heard what the man said. You're lucky to be here.
Lucky. Swaddled for the rest of my life within these chemically treated bandages, lest the negative energy again possess my body and turn me into a berserker. Alive, but never again to be truly human. Lucky.
Next issue, Tricks for the Man of Steel, a treat for you, with Superman in the House of Mystery, to battle the haunting dooms of Halloween, on sale October 7th. It's a date, pair mail. Dear Editor, DCCP number 47 featured 2 landmarks for DC Comics. First, we had the debut of yet another world in the DC universe, Eternia. Several interesting situations were set up in the story, and Eternia could be fertile ground for future DC stories that you indicate will be set there. The second landmark was the indication that DC could be getting heavily into the licensing game that has been so profitable for a certain other comics company. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The fact that characters were originally conceived for sale as toys, or whatever, really has very little to do with the comic series' merit, though it may have quite an influence on its success. The comic book people must still do all the work in order that the series become a success, with the exception that they get a bit of a head start, and some restrictions, in the process of defining the characters. Actually, there was a third landmark in this issue, the introduction of a great new hero. He's intriguing, he's different, he's courageous, he's modest, he's witty, he's Battle Cat. Yes, Battle Cat. I still can't figure out why the cover building wasn't Battle Cat and the Masters of the Universe, or why he wasn't at least featured on the cover. While Superman fit in fairly well with the goings-on in Eternia, I assume that his appearance was just to get the Masters of the Universe feature off to a good start, and that there will be no Earth superheroes in their new series. It seems that Superman is featured as a guest star in one of the early installments of all new DC mags, the most recent example being Captain Carrot, TM Maple, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We agree, TM, wholeheartedly. You've hit upon a very crucial point. The actual reasons for a book's conception need have no connection with its quality. Or to put it another way, a book conceived as a vehicle for newly licensed characters, or even specially created characters, doesn't necessarily mean it will be a poor influence on story quality. Au contraire, as we part French letterco writers are wont to say, TOF. Dear DCCP ears, I was sure I wasn't going to like issue number 47. The cover was a bit of a turnoff. Our hero actually thinking, I could die, as he faces some dude in orange fur shorts. Come on! The big red S mops up gorillas like this for breakfast. But the issue was surprisingly funny and well written. I really enjoyed the unpredictable land of Eternia, the wisecracking Tila, and most of all, that guy in the orange fur shorts. If he bears a bit of a resemblance, especially with his cat, to a certain savage lord of the jungle, well, I'll pretend I didn't notice. In general, the Masters of the Universe characters seem to have a lot of potential, and I was pleased to see that they will be getting their own book. However, I would like to warn you that I will have serious problems buying a comic in which the lead character has as sexist and as downright silly a name as He-Man and Battle Cat. We are not all 3 years old out here, you know. Names aside, it was a fun issue. Maybe the best since the classic team-up with the Joker in issue number 41. Some suggestions for future team-ups. The Huntress, the new Teen Titans, Green Arrow again, Supergirl or Lois. Good luck with Mott U, starring the guy in the orange shorts. What was his name again? Alexandra Piers, 445 East 86th Street, apartment 2J, New York, New York, 10028. We have to say, we had reservations about those names, too, before reading the story. But we think Battle Cat has a definite charm, and part of that charm is certainly in his name. As for He-Man, well, okay, you have a point, but only when it's taken out of context. Maybe it'd help to think of the name as simply descriptive, as in me Tarzan, you Jane, He-Man, she woman. Nah. On second thought, this society seems a bit too intellectually advanced for that explanation. So maybe you'll just have to keep thinking of him as that dude in the orange fur shorts. In any case, we know you're not all 3 years old out there, but aren't our younger readers just as deserving of consideration too? We believe some material, but not all, should be aimed at the younger market. After all, they have a right to read as well. TOF. Dear Editor, thanks for DCCP number 47. This was a really fine comic magazine in all aspects. Both stories were excellent. From Eternia with Death was the best sword and sorcery story that I have read since your Nightmaster stories of the 60s. The name He-Man is not one I would have chosen, but I like the character. The whole cast of characters of Eternia shows promise and a lot of imagination. I must say it's refreshing to see a company select DC for a change, to bring out a comic book based on its product. Your movie adaptations and toy concept adventures have always been superior to Marvel's, with a lot more quality and taste. I'm thinking of a great old favorite of mine, Captain Action, as I write this. The ideas and concepts behind Masters of the Universe are very superior to Hasbro's G.I. Joe revival. I look forward to the origin story and finding out more about how and why Prince Adam became a superhero, and about his Earth Mother. My one question about the whole thing is why Man-at-Arms appeared to aid He-Man. The reasons behind his being there were never revealed. What happened to Sandy was another great, in the tradition of Simon and Kirby. They've always been favorites of mine ever since I read some of the Simon and Kirby Sandman stories in reprint back in 1971. Mr. Barr and Mr. Dilbo did a terrific job. It was surprising to me to see the part about Sandy's body being in tune with earthquakes being used again after over 6 years. I thought I was one of the few people who remembered this. As for their being used again, I be in favor of a Earth 2 subject comic for some time, since I heard the Superman family was being cancelled, and Mr. and Mrs. Superman might fade into oblivion. W. Greg Stamey Jr., 21 Hampton Heights, Canton, North Carolina, 28716. As He-Man said, Greg, the company was expected and welcome. Evidently, this was a pre-arranged meeting between He-Man and Man-at-Arms. Remember, He-Man was en route to fight Skeletor when he came upon Superman, and Man-at-Arms seems to have a responsibility to protect He-Man, who is apparently the sole heir to the throne of Eternia. He appears determined to aid him in battle, and make sure he succeeds the Queen as ruler. As for the second part of your letter, Superman family has indeed been cancelled. But Supergirl now has her very own title. Check it out. Paul Kupperberg and Carmine Infantino are the creative team. And while you're at it, give a look-see at who's sharing the book. Lois Lane, pencil by the exceptionally talented Mr. Bob Oxner, who sees every story as a challenge to his imagination, as well as the readers, and scripted by yours truly, TOF. Dear Editor,
DC Comics Presents number 47 was one of a kind. You finally brought back two of the greatest heroes of Earth 2, Sandman and Sandy the Golden Boy. I hope that you keep them in action now that you have them. Keep the Sandman in his original costume, but redesign Sandy a bit. They're an unbeatable team, and I would like to see them stay around for a long time. As for the main story, I can't really judge because I have no idea who He-Man is. But what I did get out of it was pure enjoyment, which is what a comic book is supposed to be. As for future team-ups, how about Power Girl, Huntress, or the other Superman? Keep up the excellent work. Richard J. Croxton, 1510 Joy, Springdale, Arizona, 72764. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for 2,000 subscribers. And I'll see you guys later.